This presentation is about colour and tone. Let's have a closer look. Now there's the word colour, but if you look very closely there are 6 different colours and they all have a very special relationship. Green, yellow, orange, red, purple or violet and blue. The 3 primaries and the 3 secondaries. We call it a colour spectrum. Red is a very powerful colour. Black is not a colour. What names can you give these colours? Descriptive names. Sky blue, powder blue. There aren't just one type of red or one type of yellow. There are many. There are millions of colours. We use them every day to try and describe the world around us. We can talk about colour wheels, a way of describing and formatting colour. This is a colour wheel, and we can see there are 3 primary colours: yellow, red and blue. The 3 secondaries, made by mixing primary colours. Yellow and red will make orange, yellow and blue will make green, and of course blue and red will make purple or violet. And then of course we have tertiary colours. There are colour pairings. Complementary colours, complementary with an E not an I, come from the word complete. Complementary colours are opposite on the colour wheel. They will make each other stand out. They will increase the strength of the colour. Yellow becomes more yellow because it's next to purple, and purple is stronger when it's next to yellow. Analogous colours, well, they're next to each other on the colour wheel and they blend. Tone is about light and dark. We can use tone and colour, but to understand tone properly, it's about how it works against itself. A light tone against a dark tone stands out. The mid-tone against a dark tone, not so much. This is an optical illusion. You may have seen it before. Is the tile A darker than the tile B? Well, we're supposed to think so. Look closely. Tile A and tile B have the same tonal range. They're both mid-greys. Take them away and we can see that properly. What makes it happen? Well, it's an optical illusion, but tone is relative. The green cylinder strikes or casts a shadow, and because of that we're led to believe that B is lighter. Tone is relative. When you place it next to a darker tone, it will make it lighter, and we can use tone in colour. Here's another colour wheel. If we desaturate, if we take all the colour away, we can see the tonal qualities of the colour. Yellow, of course, is brighter than blue and certainly brighter than red. Here's a colour swatch. We've rearranged it from light to dark in tonal order. If we desaturate again, we can see that this works. If you were to add black to a colour, we call it a shade. If you add white, we call it a tint. This is a work by Damien Hirst. This is another work which is more interesting because there's a colour relationship. Earlier I mentioned complementary and analogous colours. What complementary or analogous pairing do we have here? Are the colours complementary or are they analogous? Well, red is next to orange on the colour wheel, so we would say this is mainly analogous. It's rather pleasing to the eye. This, on the other hand, an artwork by Mark Quinn, is an installation, and there are various colour schemes and colour pairings. Complementary colours from red to green, blue to orange, and of course purple to yellow. Which one's this? Analogous or complementary? Well, the red against the green is complementary, but the blue against the green is analogous. But generally complementaries are more powerful and they stand out. This painting, of course, has both colour pairings, complementary red and green, and of course analogous orange and red. The complementary colour pairings are more powerful. These are the Powerpuff Girls. They're running through a tunnel of colour. And this is Judith beheading Holofernes. I can't remember what Holofernes did, but he's not very happy. I quite like Judith's face. She doesn't seem particularly comfortable doing what she's doing. The old lady seems to be egging her on, and there's Holofernes as the blood spurts out. What's the main colour in this painting? Well, we can see a lot of red and some yellow, but very little blue. There are warm colours, not cold colours as blue. What about the tonal range? Is it light or dark? If we invert the tonal range, turn it upside down if you like, we can see that mainly it's now light, so it must be a dark picture with light, strong contrasts of tone. We can see the focal points because they're so bright. Judith cutting off Holofernes' head. We can desaturate, take the colour away, replace it with blue, becomes very cold and a very different picture. Colour wheels. Primary colours, secondary colours and tertiary colours. Tertiary colours are made by mixing a primary and a secondary. For example, yellow mixed with orange, the primary and the secondary, will make a tertiary colour. This colour is called yellow-orange. There is a colour that exists that isn't on this colour wheel, and it's a tertiary colour. Do you know what colour it is? It's brown. Brown is a tertiary colour, made by mixing a primary and a secondary. But which two primaries and secondaries do you mix? Well, if you were to mix primary yellow with secondary purple, or primary red with secondary green, or in fact any colours opposite on the colour wheel, you'll get a form of brown. Depending on the strength of the colour, it'll be very different. If you mix yellow with purple, it's like mixing yellow with red and blue. Monochrome means one colour. Analogous means they're neighbours. Complementary with an E means they're opposite and they enhance each other. A tint is adding white, a shade is adding black. Using colour pencils, try and fill in the worksheet. Write your name on the top right. In the monochrome section, white pencil, black pencil. Choose your primary colour. Perhaps red or blue would work well for this. Tint with white, shade with black, and blend all the way. In the second part, analogous and neighbours. Have a primary colour here and a primary there. What's the secondary in the middle? And try and blend through the tertiary colours. And finally, two complementary colours, maybe blue and orange. Do they blend? Have a go.